this SoundCloud rap era made it easier for people to get their foot in the door through rap.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. 140,000%. If SoundCloud never existed, if Spotify never existed, if sync licensing never existed, half of these people that are on right now would be eating rocks and fucking soup at dinner.
SouLivate.
Why do you think that a lot of white rappers, once they have made it in the rap scene, they go somewhere else, man? Like either rock or country or like Mac Miller, where because it doesn't happen a lot to you know what I'm saying, black artists, but it happens a lot to white artists. You have Machine Gun Kelly, you have Post Malone, you have Mac Miller. Even though Mac Miller, you know, his excuse I think is because he wanted to, like I said, blossom more into an artist that he was internally. But like all these other like white rappers, why do you think that happens, man?
I partially think it's from an upbringing kind of standpoint. And the reason why is because I feel like, you know, kids that, you know, come from the hood and poverty can be conditioned in things musically, you know, financially and such, you know, with their families and their friends and what they hear and what's prone to be around them. And, you know, those things can ultimately impact what you're representing as a person and what you want to be represented for in the long run for your music journey. Everybody's got a different music journey. So I would say part of it is the upbringing. A lot of artists too know what they represent for their brand, because being an artist is a brand, and sometimes going outside of the box can hurt your brand. As crazy as it sounds, you know, what you build upon your whole catalog to be, you know, you could flop, you know, by changing gears and switching a genre. So, you know, having that bravery as an artist is something that not every artist has completely yet, you know, and being comfortable is something a lot of artists tend to be doing now. You know, there's a lot of songs, you know, from rappers. I mean, we could start talking about people like, you know, the whole ASAP mob that really branched out. I mean, I hate to bring him up, but look at Drake. I mean, you know, he branched out to other genres and other, you know, styles, dance hall, you know, the yeet shit. Like, you know, it is what it is. You can't say he's not versatile.
So,
but that's the idea.
This is my question. Do you think that in the last 10 to 15 years, these artists thought that it was easier to get into the music industry through rap? Because rap has become so global, and it's like, all right, well, let me do this shit. It's not that hard. You just get some dope ass beats, get a good hook. You know what I'm saying? Mumble some shit, you know what I mean? And here we go. Like and then once they have, you know, hit a certain plateau, then they're thinking like, all right, well, I'm gonna do what you mentioned. Like, I'm gonna do what I kind of grew up on. Let me do some rock and let me do some country or whatever. Like, do you think that's what happened, man? That you know, this SoundCloud rap era made it easier for people to get their foot in the door through rap?
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. 140,000%. If SoundCloud never existed, if Spotify never existed, if sync licensing never existed, half of these people that are on right now would be eating rocks and fucking soup at dinner. Okay. They would have to be outside selling CDs like, you know, motherfuckers had to do in the day. You know what I'm saying? And really marketing hand to hand to get their shine in, and playing shows to get an A&R to their fucking show, like my manager used to do and shit, you know, to get themselves on. The internet is a tool now, and people forget that it is. You know, it's a place where it could be a minefield or it could be the best thing ever for your life. It could change your life. So I feel like personally, yeah.
We're kind of skipping around, but I want you to directly answer this question, please, and be real about it, because you are a musician.
Yeah.
Is rap much easier to make than other genres, man?
Ooh, this is such a
Keep it
preference
real.
question.
Keep it real.
Um, I would say relatively, yeah, nowadays. Yeah.
Cause you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? All
yeah,
you need is a laptop, a ill instrumental, a mic, and you know what I'm saying? It's not like you guys like tripod and shit. You gotta have the band, you gotta have playing
right,
instruments, like
right.
all of this shit. You know what I mean?
I would say nowadays, yeah. I think rap used to be a little harder to make back in the day because of the technology. It was different. Motherfuckers were using sample pads and
Yeah,
Akai
man.
MPCs to make beats on, like Alk and all them heads,
Yes, sir.
Harry Fraud, excuse me. Shit like that. So it's easy as 1, 2, 3 to go pull up, Sweetwater, buy FL Studio. Okay, you got the program. All right, let's buy a laptop. We go back on Sweetwater. Oh shit, I'm gonna get a pair of headphones and some monitors. Okay, now I'm Metro booming for the next 3 years if I practice hard enough. So, like, yeah, it is very easy to, get involved in making rap. It's more so dependent upon your drive to be better, as do everything. But for rap, you can make beats that outshine a lot of people nowadays if you work hard enough and you get
Sure.
creative enough. But a lot of heads ride trends on the internet and
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
follow people to, try to advocate for their own shit.
This is SouLivate.
And I
See,
just think that creativity is getting lost because of that.
see, the biggest criticism from the hip hop community, man, is that a lot of these, artists have basically, like, how should I say, they used rap in order to make it in the music industry,
Almost
whereas
like a crutch.
exactly, like, they weren't really maybe, that in love with the game, but like you said, they were following trends. And because the biggest shock was Post Malone, man, because
Oh yeah,
when
yeah.
he came out with the white iris and he had the cornrows and shit like that, and
That
then
was crazy.
and now it's like a completely different artist, man. So the
Yeah.
question is, was he really being Post Malone, or was he being like a parody, man? Back at those days, you know what I'm
I
saying? Like,
don't know, man. Because it's like, when he was doing rap, I felt like he enjoyed doing it. You know what I'm saying? And like, I think the other problem is like when you get around major labels and you get budgets and things and money involved, straying away from things. You got people looking at you and trying to tell you what to do, make
mm,
the right decisions. Don't fucking stray off in the country just yet. Give
mhm.
yourself 3 years and then do that shit because we got to build you right now. So like, I think I personally think that he enjoyed his saga of rap. I don't know if it was more of a crutch to get him to where he wanted to be. Because holy fuck, if it is, congratulations, you did
Yeah,
a damn good job.
yeah.
What the hell? That's insane. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's so touchy. I don't know, man.
Cause look, from an artist perspective, I'm gonna tell all you other artists out there, man, do
Yeah,
not be stuck in a box, man. If you
for
feel
sure.
like you have this creative side of you, like if you want to sing or if you want to play a guitar or whatever, go and do that shit, man. Do not put yourself in a box. But from a hip hop purist, man, like, you know, sometimes with shit like that, like especially with Post Malone happening, man, I start questioning things like, bro, were you ever really in love with hip hop? Were you
Right.
really as much in love with it as I am? You know what I'm saying? Like, because us, you know what I'm saying, 90s kids and early 2000 kids, man, us hip hop heads, like we really, hip hop to us is like it's a sacred thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a genre, like it's something sacred to us, man. And
Absolutely.
that's the way we treat it. You know what I'm saying? Because like again, when I was coming up, hip hop was an underground scene. So we had to fight our way through, all the other genres in order to make hip hop a global phenomenon, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Real talk. Real
and
talk.
and on the other hand, it might be like an old head like me might be looking at these cats like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It took me this long to make it. And now here comes this Post Malone and he made it in like overnight. And you know what I'm saying? And it might
Crazy.
it might be partially hate and might be partially like, you know what I'm saying, that it's a sacred thing to us, man. I don't know, man.
Correct. I think when you come from a scene of it being, so sacred, it's kind of like us with like punk music and hardcore, like when you come from a scene where it was rather gate kept and you kind of see it turn into something that, becomes bigger than life, you kind of resent a lot of the big dogs that kind of just end up on because you have a different feeling to it. You got a different love and
So you know what?
appreciation
So
towards
you
it.
know what I'm talking about. So just to
Yeah,
just to make
100%.
just to make it more vivid, imagine like Norwegian death metal like scene and how like they because to them the cats in Norway like that scene is freaking sacred to them. They
Nuts.
it's a whole movement. People don't realize is that it comes from being anti-Christian and being pagan and with Christianity taking over their land. Like there's a whole
Yeah,
idea and culture behind that scene. So now,
nuts.
so now imagine a Post Malone coming. He's acting like he loves it. He rocks out the hair. He screams. He does everything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in a couple of years, he's like, you know what? I'm a rapper, bro.
Right, right, right. It's like what happened? Like what just happened?
Did I make that vivid enough for you of like how
OD.
hip hop purists feel? You know what I mean?
It's no 100%, man. You
Yeah.
totally did. And like again, like I feel like people that are true lovers of hip hop are gonna fully relate. I'm like, I'm a true lover of hip hop, but I got so many other things on top of me.
Yeah.
So like it's like a big bucket of shit for me, like
Yeah.
just everywhere. But yeah, dude, like I'm telling you, dude, there's something so weird feeling about just seeing something so gate kept just turn
Yeah.
into a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not that it's bad. Like I think
It's
things
not.
need to grow, but
Exactly.
for the cats that use it as a crutch to do
Exactly.
something different, I don't know. It's like you ain't ever going to tell nobody unless we
Yeah.
figure it out as a community.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So whatever.
It's a
I
good
guess
point.
all power. Fuck it.
It's a good point, man. So we're about to wrap up. Before we wrap up, if you want to say anything, you go ahead. But I just wanted to real quickly talk about the battle rap scene. Have you ever watched any battle rap yourself?
SouLivate.